Hello, and welcome to another episode of BergenStages Television, our entertainment magazine here at Bergen Community College. I'm Jim Bumgardner, your host. And currently at BergenStages, we are in production of a brand new play called Nora, A Doll's House by Steph Smith. It's based loosely on Henrik Ibsen's play, A Doll's House. And we're here with three of the actresses from the show to talk about the show and about themselves a little bit. So join me in welcoming to the show Valeria Faltaz, or Val, Francesca Mufaletto, or Fran, and Haley Van Sickle, or Haley. Hey, welcome back, Haley, because you were just here for the last episode. Yeah. So welcome, and we're going to talk about the show and what's going on over there in the Saccone Theater. But first, we want them to get to know you a little bit better. Val, can you tell us a little bit, how did we get you here? Where'd you go to high school? And
I went to Rutherford High School. Yeah, that was a time. But I did a lot of theater there. I did Puffs. I was Megan Jones in Puffs. Oh, cool. I was Jo March in Little Women. I just did a lot of really fun theater there. I just had a lot of fun.
What else? Share with me. I don't know all their theater programs, so I know that they've got a good musical theater program.
Their musical theater program is crazy. I didn't do a lot of their musicals. When I was a lot younger, we did Junie B. Jones, and I was Gladys Gutzman, so I got to really channel my inner Mrs. Doubtfire for that one. But yeah, and then I did a lot of their productions. We did another play called Play On. I was a character named Polly. But yeah, my favorite role was Jo March. That was really demanding.
It's a great part. It's a great part. She's such a great character. Oh. Yeah, totally.
And I just always really liked theater. It was really fun thing for me to do to really release myself. So right now I'm a general studies major, just kind of trying to figure things out.
Which is great, right? I mean, sometimes you don't want to commit to one degree, so it's like, I'm going to do this general studies, and it's kind of like a tapa. You get to taste all these different things, and then maybe you'll find something that you kind of want to land into, right? Yeah.
Especially because I'm NJ Star, so I get to do it for free.
You get to do it for yay! Yay, good grades!
Yeah. But I decided this is my second semester here, and so I did Harvey, which was the first show of the fall semester with Peter. I was Nurse Kelly in that. That was a lot of fun.
Cool.
And something I really liked about here that was different than Rutherford. In Rutherford, I was typically put in this one specific kind of character box of a more strong, feisty kind of woman. But here, the first role I was given was this very nurse. So it was been really fun to kind of explore my range here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and so this is my second semester, my second show here. And now I get to play Nora too.
Good. And we'll explain what that means in just a second. So let me go over to Fran. And Fran, tell us how we got you here.
Yeah, so I went to Dumont High School.
Oh.
And a lot of people here. I graduated in 2021. I started singing when I was young, but then I really started theater in high school. We did Little Women. What else? Little Mermaid. I was Chef Louis.
Oh my God!
French guy.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
It was really fun. And then COVID happened, so it kind of screwed everything up. But so I did that, and then after high school, I went to a 4-year school for theater. I did that for a semester, so that was cool. And then I decided I was going to take some time off from school. I went into the city. I did a bunch of classes, auditioned.
Good for you. Good.
Made some connections, and it was great.
Okay.
And then I wanted to come back to school, so now I'm here.
And
this is my thank you. This is my second semester. I did Harvey last semester. I was Mrs. Chumley, and then I did The Mystery of Edwin Drood with Jim, and I was Helena Landless. So that was a lot of fun. And now I am Nora 1.
And you're a light board operator.
Yes, I was the light board operator for Lisa Strata, which Haley was in. Yes.
So we've been keeping you busy too. That's great. Yeah, and it's fun. Were you in the midst of a show when COVID happened? Were you doing something that got canceled?
We were doing Godspell.
Oh wow!
I think. Yeah, and then
it got put on hold.
And then it got canceled. And then the next year they did it outside.
Were you in the cast?
I wasn't, because I was doing college auditions.
I knew the rest of the people that were in there. I thought you were in that cast with them.
But everything got shut down. So. But it was still good time.
Good experience. Yes. A great program. They're running a great program over there too.
Sorry, I also forgot to mention when I graduated. That was 2024.
2024 you graduated
Yeah.
high school.
Yeah.
So you're right in, straight from there. Yes.
Weebab.
You didn't go to the city and do wild
Yeah,
things.
she's cool. I'm just.
Haley was at our last show to talk about Lysistrata.
Yeah.
So welcome back to talk about
you.
this one. Remind us a little bit about yourself, Haley.
I went to Glen Rock High School. I did like the theater program there. I've been doing theater since I was little. My parents met doing community theater, all that stuff.
I love that story. I think that's great.
I usually did the plays, and then I would do tech for the musicals. The plays I was in was Pride and Prejudice. We did Arabian Nights, All in the Timing, Clue, Alice in Wonderland. Those are the ones I was in. Because again, we had COVID, so like we couldn't do all of them. And then the musicals was Mamma Mia, Cinderella, Spelling Bee, Drowsy Chaperone.
Cool.
And I was in Drowsy Chaperone.
Yeah.
But
See, you do musicals.
exactly.
Oh, she's dynamic.
I know.
And your degree here, you're in the AFA acting?
I'm a psych major.
You're right, that's right. I did know that. That's like major. Yeah.
Yeah, so I
cool.
was at Pace first, and then I didn't like it at Pace, and so now I'm here.
Good. And it's like sometimes it's just the fit isn't good. It sounds like a
Yeah.
great place, but then you get there and go,
It's great.
"This-
Yeah.
yeah, the shoes don't fit. I need to try something else. Good. And you're a AFA.
Theater,
Oh,
yeah.
So we got one. But that's kind of an interesting thing is that you can be involved in BergenStages and not be a theater major.
Yeah.
A lot of people are not theater
A
majors,
lot of,
so-
yeah.
Which was fun last night. After the
Yeah,
show, we
psych,
just
psych.
kind of talked about it, and but probably at least half the cast does
Yeah.
not anything to do with a theater major program there. Good. So speaking about the programs there, what have you been taking as a theater major?
Oh, lots of stuff. So because I did school before, I had a bunch of gen ed
You
credits
did it.
out
I
of the
do
way,
remember
so that
sitting
was
down
nice.
with you going,
Yeah. So it was mostly theater classes. I did basic acting last semester with Lee.
scene study?
Scene study I'm doing now.
Audition
Lee.
techniques?
Not yet. I have
Yeah.
to do that next
Oh, okay,
semester.
cool.
TPW, Theater Production Workshop
uh-huh.
right now.
Mhm.
I'm doing voice and movement,
That's
which is
right.
fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you came in with all those gen eds
Yes, it was
done
great. I
so
didn't
that you
have
could
to
come and
do
do all
anything.
theater kind of
Yeah.
stuff there. Well, speaking of, what are gen eds? What do we mean by gen ed, general education courses?
Usually the maybe not super fun classes.
Oh,
It's like the maths and the histories and the Englishes, like the classes that you kind of like took in high school, like just like you gotta kind of do those
Required.
again.
Required courses for any major.
required courses,
Fundamentals.
the way I'll take the fundamentals. They're the
Yeah.
fundamental courses, kind of
Yeah.
our core courses that everybody takes,
They're
and then you
important.
take the courses for your
Yeah.
major in
Yeah.
there. Though. And then you have that luxury of being you can kind of play with all those kind of stuff there as well. But they all transfer to
Right.
other schools. The gen ed
Yeah.
courses are all transferable, so they're great to have. But I talked to one actor. I said, well, I know chemistry's not your thing, but can you be an actor chemist and create a role out of it, and
Right.
suddenly make it a research part as an actor, and suddenly it got easier for them to say,
Wow.
oh wait, I can do that. I can
I need to
pretend
do
that I'm
that.
this chemist. Yeah, use it. Be method. Be method with it. What did you do in the city? What kind
Oh
of
my
things
gosh,
did you do?
so
Steps? Did you go
I did-
dances? Steps?
I did Broadway dance.
Broadway
summer,
dance?
Yeah.
Cool.
A lot of tap. So that
Cool.
was fun. I did acting classes with a casting director, which was really great. He was like, all roads lead back to him. He had a lot of connections.
Great.
So I signed with
Which
him.
casting?
Jeff Passera.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, cool.
Good.
Yeah. Oh, sweet.
Well, it's great
See?
connections to have. too,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. He helped me get representation, which was cool. So it was great. Met a lot
And
of
gosh, I guess I'm going to dig that out of you now because you've said it. What is representation? Just for our audience
Yeah,
that might not know, what are you looking
representation
for? What do you need?
is like an agent or a manager who helps you get auditions, just helps guide your career. So I just sent over like a reel of tapes of me acting and singing, and
Have you met in person with this person, or they did it all off a reel now?
we did it all off a
Isn't
reel.
that amazing? I just remember sitting
Yeah.
down and doing it. But it's kind of like when you think of, it's like having a stage mother.
Yeah, yeah.
that tells you what to do, what to wear, and where to be, and
Yeah.
what to sing, and all that kind of stuff like that. But you need it. But they also carry a lot of clout with the casting directors to say, they call this agent up to say, can you send Fran over? I really like the way she sang that song before, and
Yeah, so
get you in.
it's
So
good.
we need it, but they're not easy to get. That's not.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you think you'll continue in theater when you get?
I don't know. The schools I'm looking at, they do have pretty good theater programs, so it is harder when there are theater majors at four-year schools. I do want to continue doing it. I probably, like my mom, doing community theater.
all that kind of stuff.
It's it's a hobby for me, and
Well, there is psychiatry uses a lot of theater in
Yeah.
acting things out. Have you thought of meshing the things together?
I've thought about it. I've thought of how I could like combine the two because I never want theater to not be a part of my life, you know. But you know, I'm still early in figuring out career-wise
what all
I
that
wanna,
means. Yeah. But that's the joy. And a lot of people think, well, why do you go to college? It's like, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to make this happen and find the right choice. And gosh knows, even if it's not the major you leave here with and you go do something else, that's okay too. It's all right too. So Val, what are you thinking now? Because you're just at the end of you're in your second semester. So have you been pushed in a direction? Or are you still thinking, I just want to get this general stuff?
I know I'm going to probably be graduating with a general studies degree, but like after that, the arts are really important to me. So whether it's just as like a hobby or my actual career, I want to stay heavily involved because it's not just like visual arts, just like performing, but I also really like drawing and animation and things like that.
Oh, cool.
And also, I've also thought about screenwriting and things like that. I just really enjoy creation, and that's very important to me. Another thing I've considered is cosmetology. It's been a recent consideration of mine.
Awesome.
Because for me, it fills me with like a lot of happiness, helping other people feel beautiful about themselves. It really does something.
So
for
you
me.
don't want to get into putting bruises on people's
No.
You don't want to do scar faces and all that kind of stuff from movies. You want to do the beauty people, the beautiful people.
I mean, that also sounds fun too, though, because it's
Special
still like
effects makeup.
it's the fact of how much you can surprise a person of like not even recognizing themselves and showing them a side of themselves they didn't even know could exist.
Yeah. You did stage makeup here.
Oh yeah, I did that last semester.
right?
Yeah. So you got to do
Erin,
the scar
Yeah, it was
faces
fun.
and animal faces.
cool.
And,
Yes.
it's kind of fun.
I've been considering actually taking that class next
Oh, cool.
semester.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. And if you don't use it for theater, you can use it for Halloween. You know, you just get some great techniques that everybody's going to say, hey, you know makeup, why don't you help me get into this particular makeup and stuff. That's good. So I'm going to get back to you, Haley. Auditioning, is there a difference between auditioning here than when you were in high school? Is there
I would say no. I would say it's pretty similar at my high school and how it was here, at least for Nora. You know, you go in and usually everyone either reads a monologue or there is a scene but like everyone reads, and you go in and you do the scene, and then they give you, based on like how that went, they give you another scene to read.
and Dumont's the same way?
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember? Way back then.
Yeah, I think it was pretty similar. I think they gave us a song to sing for the musicals, but it was like here.
Okay,
Yeah, it's pretty
cool.
similar.
And Rutherford, yeah, about
Similar but different, actually. When I first did it with Peter, it felt really different. Because usually, so in Rutherford, you like filled out a form before, like, what roles are you interested in? What would you not want to do? Whatever.
Oh yeah, we did that too.
Yeah,
We
but
didn't
then
get that.
when I when I came to audition for Peter, Peter just comes up to me and he's like, read for this, and I'm like, okay, I guess that's what I'm reading for.
I think a lot of times we assume you don't know the play at all, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. Just give me a part that you think.
Yeah.
I
And it's been really interesting because there's a lot just more. It just kind of feels a bit more professional here, I guess, is the way to say it. Even though I know it's like community college, it feels a lot different from what I did in Rutherford. Because like, yeah, we'd read a scene and then whatever, go from there, and like they'd give you another thing or they'd call you up. But like here, it just feels like the directors take a lot of effort and care into like seeing where you can fit best.
And they really want you to get it. I hope you have the feeling of we really want to cast you.
Yeah.
We really want to
Yeah.
make this work. So we're not pre-cast. We're really
Yeah.
trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
find out what you got.
And I feel that like when I'm here.
And I think every
yeah.
director is that way here, I have to say. That's what's great about it. But as you know, in the real world, you're going to have to come with a monologue, right? You'll go to an audition for a monologue. So you didn't have to do that in high school either. You didn't have to come
No.
prepared for a monologue, or the song you had was from the show. Yeah,
Right.
cool. And so then you auditioned for a play called Nora, A Doll's House, which we did. Dr. Lee Janitis is directing it, who's wonderful, and I know she just loves this particular script by Steph Smith. So you auditioned for her, and each of you read for these parts in this play. It's a little confusing because it's 3 generations. It's 1925.
Yeah,
1925, 1975, and 2025. So we go through these different periods, but it's taking that story that Ibsen wrote and mushing it in through these time scalpel.
Yeah.
So we're going to take a really quick break, and we're really going to talk in depth about this play a little bit more, so our audience can get a feeling of what the heck this is all about. So we're going to take a break right now, but come right back. We're going to be talking about Nora, A Doll's House.
Why come to Bergen? Our Bergen community spans far and wide. throughout Bergen County, the state of New Jersey, and, in a very real way, the world. From alumni and local residents looking for ways to become part of our Bergen community, the college offers a variety of opportunities, such as Anna Maria Saccone Theater. Students also choose Bergen because it provides students with a well-rounded educational experience and affordable tuition. No matter where you want to go, Bergen will help you get there.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
When people think of scholarships, most think they can never get one, but thanks to Bergen Community College Foundation, it's possible for any student to obtain a scholarship. From students who are first generation to those in the LGBT, students who come from across the globe to those born right here in Bergen County. There's something for everyone, so how can we support this foundation? By donating and spreading the word. To learn more about what this foundation has done for the students, visit their website, foundation.bergen.edu, to learn more. You can help us help others achieve their dreams.
Hello, and welcome back to BergenStages Television. Currently, we're talking about Nora, A Doll's House, which is a play BergenStages is about to open on March 28th in the Anna Maria Saccone Theater, directed by Dr. Lee Janitis. And before the break, we just started talking about auditioning and the audition process here. But Haley, what was this audition like to do for this particular play?
So the way Lee broke it up was where there were no overlapping Noras, so it wasn't confusing in any way. You know, you were either reading a scene from the 1920s, a scene from the 1970s, or a scene from the 2020s. So it was.
It just scratched out the overlap because there's overlapping from these other scenes, but it made it easier just to audition to stay in that time period. Yeah. Was there anything, now that you said, was there anything different? Did you read from each time period? Did each of you read from each time period? Or did you kind of stay?
I did.
Was there anything different to do?
Yeah.
What acting choices that you made because you were 1975 as opposed to 1925? Fran, anything?
I think specifically for 1925, the language was a little bit sharper, you know, do not instead of don't, that kind of thing. Cool. And just holding yourself a little bit more, you know, upright.
And if you did...
She also I also auditioned for all three. She also kind of talked about Lee. She talked about if you wanted to do accents for them or something, like the way you can change kind of your inflection a little bit for each one, because obviously the 1920s would have a different sound to it than like 2025. Also 2025 had more swearing, whereas like the other ones did not really.
Interesting, Interesting to learn that too. Accents, you mean just dialects like different parts of our country or coming in with a Swedish accent?
Dialects,
Dialects, okay, good, cool. And did you try that? Did you?
I tried a little. With 1925, I felt like I tried to do like, you know, that little transatlantic, older movie kind of thing, and it was funny doing that, and then automatically doing a 2025 scene where you're just like, contractions everywhere, and like.
And it's so funny because as an actor, sometimes when you're learning your lines, which we've talked about learning lines, you suddenly change do not to don't, but it makes a difference in this because of the time period you're in. Interesting. So you all read, and you read with different partners and shipped it up and all that kind of stuff, and then you got cast. Congratulations. And all three of you play Nora.
Correct.
Based on Ibsen's Nora.
Right.
But it's 1925, 1975, and 2025. Explain what this means. What does Steph Smith do? I know the themes are important. We'll talk about the themes, but what did she do with this play? How is this possible?
Well, it kind of just shows that the core message of the story, whether it's Ibsen's or even just this one, it is relevant throughout every timeline, even though, you know, when you think, especially with Ibsen's, it's like the 1800s, you think it's this like old-fashioned, well, women were treated bad back then, blah, 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 blah. But the fact that you even see in Fran's Nora, it's 2025, and she's still treated a very particular kind of way. You see her struggles through womanhood, and you see that the same message, even though there are differences in their lives, stays true throughout each era, and it just has this like very distinct message to it.
So then, how does the 1925 become relevant to the audience? Just
So 1925, it's I don't know how to explain it. It's relevant still because you see similarities, even though it's 1925 and not 2025.
Right,
There are certain things that happen, like we talk about women. It's like the first year they can vote, right?
right, exactly.
And the end
Post World War I.
post World War I and all that stuff. But it's it's women's gaining more rights and that whole debate and stuff.
So we see the strength of what this woman did to obtain these rights.
Traveled
Then
through,
we get to 75, and we feel what's going on in 1975 that becomes the core of your Nora.
They talk a lot about abortion and like gay
Roe
rights.
v. Wade
Yes,
and
a lot about
Stonewall and all that.
yes. It's a very prominent topic within my Nora specifically, gay rights and like abortion and just kind of physical autonomy. It's a very prominent theme.
What women in that particular era were dealing with, and then how do we get this into 2025?
Yeah, so in 2025 it talks a lot about like the financial struggle that they go through, just with like racking up the credit card, and now they're they're in debt, but they're just pretending that everything's okay. But I think the whole show just shows like how far have we really come in 100 years.
And even
Have
125
we-
years if we go back to the
right.
original Doll's House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
And have we grown?
In different ways, but I think it's still there.
You don't have to struggle
and
for the
it's
right to vote.
different. Right, yeah.
But it's interesting to watch this journey. So I know, I love Lee's technique in directing. So you do a lot of blocking, which means what, Fran? What is blocking?
Blocking is how you move around the stage, where you stand, when you sit, the physical life of the...
And we're not in 3 different houses with 3 different Noras doing 3 different, we're in one place. So not only do the eras overlap, the place overlaps with the same, keep going with that, because as I say it out loud, it's like, I know this makes...
we were talking about like the set and how we can have something that can fit all 3 time periods. And so, it's neutral couch, that kind of thing, but we do a lot of like, transitions.
We have a void that we call
Right, this
it.
area
And the
around
platforms.
this,
Outside. The
and
other
then the
Noras
Nora
watch
areas
in.
that you
Yeah.
can watch what's going on there. So you're all watching what the other Nora is doing
Yeah.
sometimes?
Yes.
You might be over in that era.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Just
And is it because that's your past or is that your future and you're watching it?
It's like the different generations. Yeah.
But you're as a Nora watching this
Right.
transpire, so it's like, this is what we struggled with. I've got to get back
And
on
there's a lot of overlapping lines
Yes.
too, where it's like there's the same, things, and at the end, the Noras acknowledge each other. So
A lot of the time we are like addressing the house. A lot of, like we have a lot of lines where we turn and face the audience and we're almost addressing them in this like personal way.
narrating.
Cool. And I love that you got the blocking and now you have a lot of time at the table.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Can you explain, Haley, what I mean of the time at the table?
Yeah, time at the table. So table work is when you sit down with the director, and if you have a dramaturge, you sit down with the dramaturge, and you go through the script and you go through your character, what their motivations are, what their history is, basically everything that isn't written in the script, and you kind of find out why this person is in this play. Why are they doing what they're doing?
So then, and I know that we've been working in theater production work about given circumstances.
Right.
That was there. Once you get to table, it's not the given circumstances anymore. You go beyond
it's more,
that.
Yeah, it's more like building a life for your character. Like, where did they come from? What was their childhood like? What do other people think about them? Becoming that person. On
Listening to what the
inside.
other character's saying about you, so you go,
Yes.
oh, I must be that if they're saying that
Yeah,
about me.
exactly.
So how do I put that in there? Does
Yeah.
it change? Do you find it changing your character much when you have these table discussions?
I think it expands what you can do with a character more. You know, when you're given like just the script and you're going through blocking, you only have a limited amount of what your character is and who they are. But when you get table work and you expand their world, you have more options of what to do.
And in the table work, I assume you stay in your own decades to have the table work?
Yeah.
Technically, we're doing both.
Oh,
yeah.
wow, okay.
We've done where it's all the Noras or like all the Thomases, or we've also are having the different eras.
So then through the themes, that's how the Noras could talk together because the
Yeah.
themes are so relevant.
Yeah.
But what this Nora does and this Nora really
Yeah.
doesn't connect. It's just
Yeah.
how you adapt to that theme. I know this, right? It's not that confusing,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make it clear. Yeah.
Which I just think it helps a lot, kind of what we were talking before with Haley. It really helps us understand the character, like our specific Nora's motivation so much more. Because yes, we have a similar overarching like theme, but the things that we each experience and the lives we have and even our relationships with our husbands are all a little bit different. And it really helps us analyze it more when we do things like table work.
Cool, cool. And it's a great thing to do. It's a great, to have time to do that
Yeah.
is so amazing. So you open that can of worms. So not only are there 3 Noras,
Yeah.
Yeah.
there are 3 husbands, Thomas,
Thomas, yeah.
the doctor, there's 3
Daniel.
doctors, the friend
Yeah.
Christine. Is it
Christine, three
3
Christines.
friends, so 3 of those in each decade have the
Yes.
same characters, 5
Yeah.
each.
And three
Nathan.
three Nathans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's 5, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2,
Yep.
3.
No,
5.
yeah.
5 in each decade have the same thing,
Yes.
and they all overlap as
Yes.
well. So
Yeah.
this whole conversation goes back to them too, on not just what these women want, but what did the men need during that
Yes.
period, and that what was their characters going through as well. And I know you're an aficionado of the original Doll's House, I assume, at this point. I don't know if the rest of you, are you kind of...
I read it in high school.
You read it in high
Yeah.
school. How much do you go back to that? How much do you find that you're...
When I got cast, Lee gave us all copies of the original Doll's House and gave us access to watch one of the movies done, the 60s. An old,
with Jane Fonda. Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Because again, it's like, even though this is an adaptation, even though they are taking place in different time periods, there's still, you still want to stay true to the core message and the core plot line.
And it's not ever lost, even through this.
Exactly.
So this is exciting, yes? I
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah.
Then you have Aaron Ingersoll has designed the set for you. This
yes.
one space with the void and the Nora platform and a runway in the back.
Yes.
That's just kind of the happening there. So it's a really cool set there. I know Miru Kim is doing the lights. Peter Helf's doing props.
Yes.
Not a proppy show. There's not a lot to carry, but they're very specific, especially because of the
Yeah.
time periods.
Yes, yeah.
And I love Soraya is doing the costumes.
Yes,
Yeah.
she's so talented.
Which are so important to this
Yes.
because
Yeah.
we need to know what era we're in by
Yeah.
just looking at what you're wearing.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you wearing? What do you give it away a little bit?
She's doing this very interesting thing. I kind of talked with her a little bit about it, where each character is kind of color coded. So it kind of helps create this continuity for the audience to know that the characters are the same. We're all wearing like these like dark maroon dresses, which I
So
think
the
are very
maroon
interesting.
people are the Noras,
Yes.
Yeah.
but the styles are different.
Yes,
Cool.
which I think is so fascinating. But she also has us all doing this thing where we have red lipstick to show this like bold thing of feminism,
Oh,
especially
cool,
which is very reoccurring nowadays. I think it's very important to do so. So I just think the very little details that Soraya puts in, because the outfits are simplistic, but the little differences and the little like details that she puts into it make the whole like
Yeah.
show.
Plus, looking at the publicity shot, you do some cool stuff with your hair.
Yes.
So your hair is so
Yeah.
obviously
Yes.
from that time
You get
period,
to
which is
wear
kind of
wigs.
cool looking.
Well,
And I assume all the other members of your era are all
Yeah.
doing the same
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
To be clear, with a color
Yes.
thing that makes a hat. That's kind of a cool thing. So
I
Yeah.
know.
Soraya's doing some really big. Dean Matson is your sound designer, and I know that music's important because I think you spoke about transitions.
Yes.
These transitions.
Yes.
So it's going to happen musically with Dean's magical transitions with that
Yes.
sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of exciting watching this all kind of come together. So now you're getting into the table work's going, and now we'll start getting into tech rehearsals
Yeah.
to be ready to open. Oh, it's right around the corner. It's right around the corner. So the show opens on the 28th. It's going to be the Anna Maria Saccone Theater. It's a wonderful, incredible play, and it's
Yes.
really new and exciting
Yes.
take on Ibsen's A Doll's House.
Yes.
So please join us. It's for 2 weekends, opening on March 28th in the Saccone Theater. It's called Nora, A Doll's House. You can get tickets at tickets.bergen.edu or visit our box office. Val, Fran, Haley, thank you so much.
Thank
Great
you
to
so
have you
much.
here.
Yeah,
Break a
so
leg
fun.
with this show,
Thank you so
and
much.
we'll see you on the stage. And we will see you in the audience. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon.